What's the highest round that Rosalia can reach in Bloons TD 6? Well, that's the question that we're going to try and answer today. And first off, we're playing on medium mode because I think that this is the most representative one. And right off the get-go, I noticed that her price is $790, which means that with monkey knowledge, you can actually afford her. This is actually not possible on chips mode, by the way, because she costs $945, and that is just way too much money. Let me just actually place her like this so that you can see both of the tracks. So we're going to try and super buff Rosalia, which means that everything is allowed. I'm talking Homeland Defense Village, I'm talking Ultra boosting her 10 times, I'm talking about the Permabrute Alchemist, everything that you guys can imagine we're gonna throw at her and we're gonna see how far she can go. So first off, in order to get there, we need to get a couple of farms going, and farming has been made a little bit more difficult in the last update, but I think that's gonna be for a separate video. But I'm just mentioning if you guys have noticed that as well, and if not, then well, I guess that's the case, but if you have, then we have a lot more stuff to talk about. But first off, let's talk about Rosalia, which is the brand new hero. And so if you guys don't know exactly what Rosalia does, basically she attacks using two weapons which you guys can change. The first one is a laser, which does a lot of single target damage, and the second one is a grenade launcher, which is the one that I currently have equipped. Now the difference between both of these guys is that the laser is meant for single target use, so it's a lot of single target damage, and it's mainly used for mob class bloons because eventually she can actually push back mob class bloons. And then the grenades are meant for AoE clearance. So if you want to get the most out of Rosalia, you're supposed to be juggling these weapons, you're supposed to be adapting to whatever the round throws at you. But considering that the last two heroes that we got are Geraldo and Corvus, those are heavy micro heroes, so you guys absolutely don't have to do that. You can just select the weapon that you like, and then you can just buy the other stuff that she's missing. Like for example, if we have the grenade equipped for the entirety of the game, you can just buy some extra mob class damage and you can help her clean up with some other towers. So look at this thing, the grenades cannot deal with black bloons, but if we switch to the lasers, then look at how much damage these guys do. It almost one-shots them, it leaves them to red bloons. So for example, on a round like this, a bunch of yellows, I think we actually switch to the grenades because they can bounce a little bit throughout these bloons, and I think that this is actually going to be nice. And let me use the level 3 ability because I see a bunch of pings, and you have to kind of time the level 3 ability as well, because even though you click it, there's a little bit of a delay before the missiles actually make it, so you kind of want to be careful and kind of preemptively use it. But the good thing is that the missiles actually follow Rosalia's targeting. So for example, if you have her set on first, then the level 3 ability is going to be thrown at the first bloons on screen, and this goes for all the other targetings as well. So more black bloons, let's switch to the laser. Actually, I do not want to be doing this the entirety of the game, guys. I'm just gonna buy like an MIB village because it's a little annoying, I'm gonna be honest. So zebras, which means we have to get the laser, and then I'm actually gonna have her on strong so that she focuses the zebras and I can switch to the grenades a little bit faster. So maybe I think if we just leave her on strong, it's actually gonna be fine for this round, right? And there we go. So the lasers were great for that round, but because it's round 27, there's a lot of balloons, we have to switch to the grenades for this one. And yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about. I mean, guys, how are we feeling about Rosalia? Have you guys bought her? Have you tried her? Like what are we thinking about her? So these early rounds have not exactly been a challenge, and we got level 7, which is really important because once you use the level 7 ability, she hovers over the balloons. She basically sets herself on pursuit. She follows the balloons around and she uses both of her weapons to attack. But a really important aspect of the level 7 is that if you guys have read the description, Rosalia hovers above the battlefield, and that's really important because that means that now you can have her anywhere. So for example, she's a land hero, but because she's level 7, we can have her hover over the water, and this goes, by the way, for all of the obstacles. And look at this thing, she's just targeting all the balloons, but we have a little bit of an issue. That's a bunch of black balloons. So let me just use this thing. Let me use the level 7 ability, just kind of clean these guys out. And because round 36, now we have to switch to the grenade, so we get a lot of AoE for all these pink balloons. And there we go. I mean, that's just the Rosalia gameplay, guys, until we get the MIB village, right? So we want to switch to the laser, by the way, because it's a lot of single target damage, and the laser actually every 10th shot, the special attack for the laser is that it pushes balloons back. So let me move her like this, and there we go. Look at this thing. Okay, that's really cool because once you get enough attack speed, this pushback becomes super strong, and it actually works on all these stronger balloons as well, up to a ZOMG. So we got the ceramics, and now if I use the level 3 ability, it's gonna target them, and there we go. That's the insights. So basically every hero in the game can deal with the insights, right? So for example, if you take a look at Quincy, if you use Quincy's level 3 ability, it's gonna wipe out the insides of the mob. That goes for Gwen's level 3 ability. It goes for Etienne's level 3 ability. It goes for Saul's level 3 ability. So this is, nothing new so far, but it's nice to have a little bit of an AoE. Now the problem is that we see a lot of zebras, so here's what I want to do. I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna get the MIB, and I'm actually have the bombs, the grenades as my main attack. So let's just kind of deal with these guys. Don't worry about it. and let me just use the level 7 ability because I see a bunch of balloons. So something that I've noticed with Rosalia, and this goes back to the early access videos that we made, I noticed that she's missing a bunch of attack speed, and so once you get attack speed, she kind of starts becoming more and more of a decent hero, but we still don't have a single attack speed upgrade, by the way. So let's change that. Let me get the jungle drums, and let's get this thing, the alchemist, which we're gonna start with a 4-0, and eventually we're going into permabrew. So let's see how we do versus mobs after this round ends. We're gonna have round 50, which has 2 mobs on it, so I'm gonna switch to the laser actually, which is the more powerful attack versus mob class balloons. And look at this thing, it's a straight up pushback. This is really nice. This is like a mob press boomerang, but it's like every 10th attack. So once we get enough attack speed on her, she should be knocking these guys back like crazy, but I'm not sure if the damage is gonna be enough actually. Now let's switch to the grenades for these ceramic balloons, and we have both of our abilities ready, but I just want to have her attack and not do anything. And actually with all this extra cash, I'm just gonna get the central market because we do need to get the farming going. And now look at this thing, these grenades are actually just that they're not doing anything versus the mob. We need to switch this actually. So let's move her like this. Let's switch to the laser, and once she lands, she should be able to deal with this mob. And how does the laser do versus the ceramics? I mean, if that was an empowered shot, if you guys saw that thing. So I guess the empowered shots are doing amazing, but all of the other ones, not really. Now I want to tell you guys something about the level 7 ability, and this goes to both of her weapons, right? So she has the laser and she has the grenade weapons, but only one of them can be equipped. Now the thing is, while you use the level 7 ability, she has both of them equipped, and as you guys know, every 10th attack is a special attack. So for example, the gun is currently charged up and she's going to do a special attack with the grenades. So what I want to tell you guys is that once you use the level 7 ability like this and she starts using both of her guns, it's only going to activate the special shot of the gun that you currently have equipped. So for example, the lasers do a knockback, but because our primary weapon is the grenades, we're not going to be seeing any knockbacks. But if I switch, actually we're going to have to see to the next ability. Let's switch to the laser, let's use the level 7 ability, and now you guys are going to see maybe, hopefully, on a Moab. Yes, there we go. So we got the knockback, essentially because the laser is our primary weapon. There we go. So that's what I was telling you guys. Okay, so I have the grenades equipped, and 61, basically every single Moab on that round survived, and I think it's gonna be the exact same thing as 62. Yeah, look at this thing. Okay, so this is an excellent opportunity for us to use the level 10 abilities. So first off, let's just click the button, and so a little bit of a bot appears, and then this bot attaches itself to the first balloon, and then after a while it's gonna detonate itself and it's gonna do an oh, wait a minute, where's the explosion? Oh, there it goes. Okay, so there's a little bit of a delay, and then the damage accumulated to that balloon is going to basically get dispersed in an AoE around the explosion. Now, this is, to me, this is a little bit of a tough ability to kind of, you know, time and to kind of use. So I'm not exactly using it, but it does have a little bit of a damage by itself. So it's not like a bad ability, I just find it a little bit difficult to use, and that's about it. So one of the problems, as I think I mentioned, is that Rosalia is missing a lot of attack speed, and we have around 63 incoming. So I'm going to switch to the grenades, and I'm actually going to, I have her overclock, and I'm going to let her attack just like this, and let's see what's gonna happen. Let's just move her towards the right side so we can get some damage going. And yeah, absolutely, these grenades are destroying round 63, but let me switch to the lasers actually. So I switched to the lasers, and let's see how good the lasers are gonna be. And honestly, let me just overclock her. These lasers are absolutely crumbling. Look at this thing, guys. The entire wave survived, so I should probably even use the level 3 ability, right? Yeah, let's use the level 3, and let's use the level 7 ability because we need to deal with these guys as soon as possible. And actually, I think I timed it perfectly so that the, oh yeah, the third wave of ceramics actually got some damage onto it. So it's round 75, and we have a couple of things happening. I bought the Ultra Boost, but I still have not used it once, and I actually want to do it on this round. But first, I want to do two things. Number one, I want to switch to the laser, and number two, I want to buy the level 13, which is going to make every 10th attack a lot stronger. So let's see how much of a difference this is going to make. Let's Ultra Boost her, and you know what? I think I should probably even be using the level 7 ability just to kind of get a gauge on, oh my god, look at that push. Oh my god, that's so much. Yeah, you definitely wanted to just focus on these mob class balloons. That was insane. No way, this is even stronger than a mob press. That's so good. I mean, she does struggle versus, you know, cleanup, so that's why I had to use the level 3 ability, but my god, that was insane. Let's try it again onto this group of BFBs. I'm gonna Ultra Boost again. Let's use the level 7 ability, and look at these guys. They're all in a straight line. They're just gonna get pushed, and they're just destroyed. They're gone. They're gone. Yeah, so while she's using both of her weapons, she's extremely strong. She's pushing the balloons. She's clearing out the small ones. That's exactly the reason why I want to get the Energizer sub, because now we're gonna get these cooldowns reduced so much that we might even get to 100% uptime. Don't quote me on that one. We're gonna try it out. So now that we've entered free play, let's see how she does versus round 81. A bunch of these BFBs, and they're just getting pushed. I have the laser as the main one because it does a lot of damage. It doesn't one-shot these ceramics. I mean, that would have been crazy if it did, but it does a lot of damage to them, and it's just keeping so many balloons in check. That's actually crazy. So the 10th attack has a lot more pierce, it seems like, than the normal attack, so that's why the push is so strong, but the laser itself is so weak. Yeah, I don't know, guys. What if we just do everything at once? We're not even at half power, but let's just ultra boost. Let's use the level 7 ability, and let's use the homeland, and let's see what's gonna happen. Yeah, these guys are gone. Yeah, this is not even funny. We're not even seeing the balloons, by the way, because they're getting knocked back so much, and this is ramped up fortified BFBs. Yup, the round is just over. Okay, so level 18 seems like a very important level because the flight boost cooldown is gonna get greatly reduced. Now, I don't know how much greatly reduced is, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna test it. I'm gonna unsubmerge this sub so that we don't get the extra cooldown reduction from it, and I'm gonna use the ability, and let's just kind of watch what is the uptime on this ability now. So it went past 40%. It's going at around, it's closer to 50%, I think, on the uptime without the Energizer sub. And so we got the cooldown back, so let's first off buy this level, and let's use the ability now, and let's see how much the uptime is. So I'm gonna round it up to about 50%, I think. And oh my god, look at this thing. That is going past 75, I think. Wait a minute, this is almost 100% uptime. So once we buy the Energizer, actually, well, not buy, but once we submerge the Energizer, this should be 100% uptime on the flight boost, right? Let me just use it. This pushback on the ATs is just ridiculous, by the way. And let's see how much this thing is gonna be. So she is still in the air. The cooldown is about to run out, and I'm using it again. Okay, so you have to, so you actually have to wait for it to come back, and then you can use the ability. But you know what? Once she reaches level 18, I feel like this Energizer is not even that necessary. I mean, it's gonna be nice for the level 3, I guess, and the level 10 abilities, but it's just not necessary for the flight boost, it seems like. And you know what? I'm actually gonna buy a tech bot, and I'm gonna attach it to a tech bot so that we don't have to click all of these buttons. So all these abilities are gonna get launched by themselves. I know that includes the level 3 ability, but honestly, I just care about the flight boost, so she is essentially going to be set on pursuit this entire time. And look at this, we have achieved automation, guys. This is full, it's not full, but it's almost full uptime onto the flight boost. And I feel like maybe they should make it so that you can just keep using the ability and not have to wait for it to reset, but that would be a little bit too much, right? Let's see how she does versus round 9 yet. We don't have a single damage amplification tower, nor a slowing or a stunning tower or anything of the sort, so this is only her doing the thing. I'm not even going to use the homeland, and I feel like it's not even going to be necessary because she's absolutely destroying these balloons. She's very strong, but keep in mind, this is a a level 20 Rosalia, which we still haven't bought the perma, by the way, so let me actually do that. Let's just start getting the setup going for the ultra late game because we're going past round 100 easily, it looks like. Oh, and yeah, I forgot to mention, I got this new ugly bad skin, which is the I don't know what this is, this ugly bug or whatever it is, but I just wanted to test it out to see what it is, and I'm actually going to switch from this thing, but yeah, this is the bad balloon around 100. Let's use the homeland. Let's see how much damage she does actually. So the damage is actually not going that fast, but I feel like once she has the 10th attack on the laser, that's when it does a lot of damage. So 2,000, 3,000. I mean, yeah, she does deal with the bad balloon, it looks like, especially with the level 3 ability getting used, but we're gonna need the level 10 ability to get attached to this thing as well. Alright, so let's sell these farms, so let's actually get ready for this super ultra late game. So I want to buy a support temple, and this support temple, I know it's gonna be able to attack a level. Let me just see if it's gonna be in range. Yeah, it's in range, and it is buffing Rosalia, so I'm gonna try and have, oh no, it got the perma-brew buff. Well, I hope it doesn't do too much damage. I only have the support sacrifice in this thing, but I guess it's gonna be fine. Next up, let's finish the setup by buying the damage amplification towers, which are towers that you would normally have, and I'm actually gonna go for the 501 on the super build because it recently got some extra attack speed. So now I just kind of want to get the extra range, so I think that's a better choice. Let's also get the glue storm. Let's go like this, get it. This is 052, and then let's also buy this thing right here, which is gonna be the cripple Moab sniper. I want to have it like this, and I'm gonna have this thing as a 502, and I'm gonna set it on strong, so the only target is the bad balloons. So this is about it. We can probably buy some other stuff, like for example some stunning and some slowing towers for sure, but I kind of wanted to see just how much DPS she can do by herself and only using these damage amplification towers and not the slows and the stuns. And I think that this is going to be the perfect way to gauge how strong Rosalia is. So far, the flight boost is just getting activated by its own, the level 3 ability is getting activated by its own, and she's keeping almost all of these balloons in place. It's round 109 and so far it looks like she doesn't even care. If she loses to something, it's looking like it's probably going to be a DDT just because they're a little bit too fast for her. And even though she's flying through here and she's kind of chasing these balloons all over the place, I feel like the DDTs might be a little bit too fast for her. And I just remembered something. So she has the level 20 actually. Rosalia has a 30% upgrade cost reduction on the anti-balloon, and I've never bought this thing. So you know what, I'm actually gonna try and buy this thing. We're gonna immediately sell it, by the way, so let's make sure it's in range of the platform so we can have it like this, and let's see how much of a haircut does it get. So the anti-balloon should be $70,000, but now it is... Okay, you guys see this bug? So it is $70,000 and we have $54,000, but the upgrade icon is green, which means that we can buy it. So this is actually just a visual bug, just sitting at $70,000. I think I can buy this thing even though we don't have the money. So let me click it. Yes, there we go. I didn't catch exactly how much the price was, but it should be like easily into the 50s, right? So $50,000. And so if you want to get Rosalia to level 20, you're probably going to need the Energizer sub. But the thing is, I think the Energizer sub is more expensive than the cost reduction that you're getting for the anti-balloon. So I don't think this is worth it in the first place, but let's sell this thing so that we only have Rosalia as the main DPS. And look at this, more DDTs incoming, and she is kind of getting pushed back along the track. So yeah, definitely DDTs are her weakness. Thankfully not that many DDTs on this round, so let me use the homeland to kind of get rid of these UMGs. And once you use the ability, yeah, the damage just skyrockets as expected, and we do have the glue storm ability as well. Oh, and look at this thing, bad balloons. Okay, so let's actually use everything for these bad balloons. I'm going to use the glue storm as well. The homeland is a cooldown, but we're going to have it in a second. It threw the level 10 ability by itself, so where did it attach? I didn't quite catch that thing, but we do have the homeland, so let me actually use the homeland as well. And yeah, these bad balloons, they are getting taken care of really fast, it looks like. Yeah, it's round 119, but she is doing a decent amount of damage, guys. Yeah, I mean, round 130, she's still holding on. It's no problem, so I feel like if she loses to something, it's gonna be a bad balloon. And while we're on the topic of the tank bot, you know, I kind of noticed this level 10 ability is probably not as good as it could have been. I mean, I don't know, I'm kind of finding it a little bit weird, this level 10 ability. If I had to rank it, I would probably rank it the most among the weakest level 10 abilities of any hero, just because I don't see what exactly is the use case for it. I mean, I get that it attaches itself to like a mob class balloon and then it explodes and it does the damage around it, but it's like the explosion is delayed and you can't exactly time it. And if you need some extra mob class damage, I mean, why don't you just switch to the laser and just get the mob damage done? I'm really having some hard time, you know, figuring out this level 10 ability. Maybe you guys can help me. Maybe I'm missing something, but it feels kind of weird. That's what I'm saying. And I don't know, I haven't done this thing with a bunch of heroes to see how far they can go, but for example, with Quincy make it this far? I don't know. I mean, maybe if you can get like a bunch of uptime on the rapid shot, but I don't know. Would Gwen make it this far? I don't think so, guys. But this is the 45 bat, so let's see if we're gonna pop it. I think that we are, especially because I used the homeland. But when do we pop the 45 bat is the question. So this thing is making it all the way around this 45 bat. There's gonna be one behind it as well, but that one is not 45. So I'm just keep using these abilities, and this thing is not popping. It crossed all the vertical lines, so it's now onto the horizontal one, and there we go. It barely popped. That's the 45 version. And yeah, this is the time in which all of these balloons are just starting to become so much tougher, and it is definitely gonna start struggling, right? So there are a couple of bats spawning on this round actually right out of the get-go. So I'm gonna start with the homeland to this one. Do we use the glue storm? I guess let's just use it, but you know what? I'm actually gonna turn these effects down to 99% because these glue storms, they're a little bit annoying. So we just need the extra damage, not the visuals, is what I'm saying. Now let's see how we do versus these bad balloons. I see some DDTs spawning and they're kind of confusing her, so she's going to focus the DDTs now, and she's not going to be doing damage to the bats while she's chasing the DDTs. But we do have another homeland incoming, and I feel like she cleaned everything out, and now that the bats have been taken care of, she's just gonna keep pushing these guys back, right? Oh yeah, there we go. Oh my god, the pushback. Once the pushback starts, these guys are just getting back to where they came from. 150, it's a big one. We have a bunch of DDTs. This one is actually a surprisingly weak round. We just got those DDTs and there's like one bat. But keep in mind, the HP is scaling so much on these guys that even like one bat is not a joke. So once we get like, I don't know, like 3 or 4 bats in a round, it's gonna get a little bit dicey. This might be the one, guys. We had one bat just getting destroyed, and these ones at the bank, they haven't even started receiving any damage. So I don't know, it's gonna be all in the homeland and Rosalia on this one. I kind of used the homeland once as the last bat. I feel like we have this thing though, right? So another level 10 ability getting attached, and once this thing pops, we got the homeland as well, and I think that we actually, I know that it's on the last line, but we have this thing. Yeah, so as soon as the bat pops, you guys know what's gonna be happening. She has so much stall and so much pushback that I don't think this is gonna be an issue. Oh, did I jinx it? I hope I didn't. I think we have this thing. Just push those guys back. Oh my god, it's so close. It's on the last track, but we have this thing, I feel like. Yes, there we go. Do we have a shot at this? I see the level 10 ability getting attached to the bat, so maybe we have a shot at this. I hope we do. I hope we survive at least up until the 160s, but this is not looking that good. The DDTs are getting stunned. Oh my god, that was, you know what that was? That was this guy. It was the mob holding down the DDTs, but yeah. 158, a bunch of DDTs, so let's use the Homeland on this one, and let's see how we do versus these DDTs, because they're super fast, and I kind of want to be using the Homeland as well onto the DDTs, not just the bats, because these guys are just super fast. We're just not holding them down, it seems like. Yeah, there we go. So look, this is exactly what I was talking about. Look at how fast these guys are. Wait a minute, are we going to lose to a DDT? It's not going to be a bat, is it going to be a DDT that we lose to? I hope not. We are holding them in place, and we defended the DDTs. Okay, so it's only going to be these two bats. So if we get the Homeland, we might get some damage going on to them, but I don't know, guys. I use the Homeland. We might actually have this one. We might actually have 158. Okay, 2 more rounds and we're past 160. Yeah, this one is going to pop as well, I'm pretty sure. It is on the last stage, and yes, there we go. We actually pop it. That's insane. This is the end of the road, guys. It's 159, and there are 4 bats on screen, but they are super separated. So that means that there's not going to be any AoE attack happening. So if we're attacking one, we're essentially not attacking the other ones. So yeah, this is gonna be it, guys. We just barely didn't make it past round 160. I know that I'm talking, by the way, before these guys pop, but you know what, you just get a feel for it. And my gut is telling me that this is just not gonna happen. We might even pop this one. This is the second bat, by the way, and there are 4 in total. These guys at the back have been barely damaged. Is the second one gonna pop? Yeah, this is just not happening, guys. This is, even if we restart this thing, like, that's what I'm thinking. What if we restart this, but it's just way too much damage to be done? So yeah, this is just not gonna happen. I'm gonna use the Homeland for one last time, but round 159 seems to be Rosalia's limit as a full bad blue leaks. So 44 million pops, that's a lot of pops. Round 159, that is a very decent record. I'm not exactly sure how far these other heroes can go, so we can do a comparison between them, but she actually looks like she's decently strong. But keep in mind, this is a god boosted Rosalia, so you're not gonna be seeing these things in the regular games anytime soon. So that's gonna be it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed this god boosting video, and I'm gonna see you all in the next one.